hidden in the remote hills of Shaanxi Province, China, where dense vegetation carpets the earth and time has buried ancient secrets, lies a mystery forgotten by history. A colossal structure, one that rivals even the greatest pyramids of Egypt, concealed not by desert sands, but by grass, trees, and perhaps deliberate silence. Some have called it the White Pyramid of China, a name whispered among researchers, adventurers, and ancient astronaut theorists. Unlike the iconic Egyptian pyramids, proudly displayed under the sun, China's pyramids are veiled, not just by the passage of time, but possibly by human intent. The first widely reported sighting of the White Pyramid dates back to 1945. At the end of World War II, while flying a reconnaissance mission, U.S. Air Force pilot James Gaussman reported seeing a gleaming white structure, immense, symmetrical, and reflective, jutting out from the earth like an ancient sentinel. Gaussman described it as having 4 perfect triangular sides, glistening in the sun, with an estimated height of over 1.000 feet, towering above even the Great Pyramid of Giza. But soon after his report was filed, it vanished, buried in military archives. Never formally followed up, yet the mystery didn't end there. Just 2 years later, in 1947, another American pilot, Colonel Maurice Xi'an, claimed to have seen the same colossal pyramid. This time, the account made headlines, appearing in the New York Times. He, too, described a gleaming white monument, not weathered by time, but eerily pristine, as if untouched. But again, no photographs, no official expedition, just eyewitness accounts, and a growing silence. Skeptics dismissed it as an illusion, a mirage, a misidentification of a natural hill. But in recent years, satellite imagery and independent researchers have confirmed the presence of dozens of pyramid-shaped structures near the area mentioned by Gaussman and Xi'an. Unlike Egypt, where pyramids are celebrated icons, China's ancient pyramids are obscured, classified, and restricted. Many of these pyramids have been intentionally covered in soil, planted with trees, camouflaged as part of the natural landscape. Chinese authorities claim the purpose is preservation of cultural heritage, or protection from looters, but some researchers suggest a deeper motive. Take the famous mausoleum of the first Qin emperor, near Xi'an, the very tomb that guards the world-famous terracotta army. Even today, its central burial chamber has never been opened. Why? Because soil tests revealed extremely high concentrations of mercury. Just as ancient records warned. If this is what lies beneath a known imperial tomb, what could be hidden beneath the White Pyramid? Reportedly larger, older, and untouched? Some speculate it may be a lost monument from a forgotten civilization. Perhaps even one with technologies far beyond their time. Others suggest something even more radical. That the White Pyramid could hold artifacts not of this earth. Could it be a vault of knowledge? A tomb of giants? A beacon left behind? For now, it remains sealed, buried beneath trees, guarded by time, secrecy, and perhaps, by design. Voiceover, mysterious tone, music builds tension. As we delve deeper into the riddle of the White Pyramid and its concealed counterparts, the question arises: could these pyramids be connected to something far greater than ancient royalty? Some researchers believe that these pyramids were not just tombs, but astronomical devices, designed to align with the stars, tracking the heavens with incredible precision. In ancient Egypt, The Great Pyramid of Giza is famously aligned with the Orion constellation, an alignment believed by many to represent the Egyptian gods. Could the pyramids of China share a similar astronomical connection? Some theorists suggest that, just like the Egyptians, the ancient Chinese may have been in communication with otherworldly beings, extraterrestrial entities that guided their architectural and astronomical knowledge. In fact, the layout of several pyramids in China aligns not only with the stars but also with the principles of sacred geometry, a blueprint that spans cultures and eras. These ancient blueprints, encoded in stone, might hold the keys to understanding the origins of human civilization. Could these ancient pyramids be the remnants of a global civilization, a civilization so advanced its understanding of the cosmos far exceeded our own? The idea that ancient civilizations may have communicated with beings from other worlds is not a new one. Across the globe, from Mesopotamia to the Andes, there are similarities in architectural designs and star alignments that seem too precise to be mere coincidence. Could there be a cosmic pattern, one that unites these distant civilizations, suggesting a higher intelligence guiding their rise? Some believe that extraterrestrial architects designed these massive structures, not just as monuments, but as markers or beacons to guide humanity's understanding of the universe. In fact, some of these pyramids may not just be pointing upward to the stars, but outward, to distant worlds, perhaps to communicate with forces beyond our understanding. The ancient Chinese, like many other civilizations, believed that the sky was the gateway to the divine. Could the pyramids have been constructed as a spiritual conduit, a bridge between earth and the heavens? One thing is certain: these monuments, like the pyramids of Egypt, the Nazca lines, and the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, are not just structures made of stone. They are clues, waiting to be uncovered, pointing us toward a shared knowledge, a shared cosmic heritage. Perhaps the White Pyramid of China is not just an ancient burial site. Maybe it is the remnant of a lost civilization, a civilization that understood far more about the universe than we do today. The mystery of the White Pyramid, like many others, continues to elude us. But it may only be a matter of time before the truth comes to light. As we search for answers, we must also acknowledge the vast, ancient knowledge buried under layers of stone, earth, and secrecy. The pyramids, the ruins, the texts, they are more than just relics of the past. They are a part of our ongoing search for truth. Whether the White Pyramid is an artifact of extraterrestrial influence, a testament to a forgotten civilization, or simply a relic of ancient human ingenuity, it will remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of our time. And so, the search continues. The truth is out there, buried beneath the earth, waiting for someone, perhaps you, to uncover it. As we journey further into the heart of ancient mysteries, we find ourselves drawn to an enigma even more elusive, an ancient buried city that may hold the secrets of the first civilization. Deep in the jungles of Central America, beneath thick layers of soil and centuries of neglect, lies the lost city of Tikal, a place thought to have been abandoned long before the rise of modern civilization. But it's not just the jungle that has hidden this place. There are other forces at work. Tikal, like many other ancient sites, remains a mystery. Some believe that the city was once a hub of advanced technology, far beyond what its inhabitants were thought to have known. Could it be possible that the Mayans were the inheritors of knowledge passed down by an extraterrestrial race? According to ancient legends, the Mayans believed they were descended from the stars, beings who arrived from other realms, imparting their wisdom and guiding their civilization. This may sound like the stuff of myths, but the alignments of their sacred structures seem to tell a different story. The Mayan pyramids, especially those in Tikal, are aligned with celestial events, not just to the sun, but to the movements of other planets, notably Venus, often depicted in their art as a messenger of the gods. Could this celestial alignment be the key to understanding their true origins? Some even suggest that the Mayans, equipped with astronomical knowledge that rivaled modern science, could have received this information from visitors, a theory supported by ancient texts describing beings from the stars teaching the Mayans how to build their great structures. But what if there's more? What if, beneath the earth in Tikal's tombs, a long-lost secret lies hidden? A secret that could connect all these ancient mysteries. In 2007, an expedition discovered an ancient tomb beneath one of Tikal's pyramids. The tomb's contents were astonishing: strange artifacts, unusual statues, and the remains of a mysterious ruler whose identity has yet to be revealed. Could this tomb hold the key to unlocking the story of the stars? This tomb was not only filled with precious artifacts, but strange symbols, some of which were unlike anything ever found in the Mayan language. Could these symbols be a link to an ancient alien presence? These symbols, when examined closely, seem to resemble known alien hieroglyphs found in other parts of the world, such as the Sumerian tablets, which speak of beings descending from the stars. Is it possible that these civilizations were connected by more than just a shared geography? Perhaps the tomb beneath Tikal is not just a Mayan burial site. It could be the last remnant of a vast network, a hidden chapter of humanity's lost knowledge, a network that spanned continents, from ancient Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica, and even to the distant pyramids of China. The evidence, while scattered, begins to paint a compelling picture. Could this network of ancient civilizations have shared more than just architectural knowledge? Could their great pyramids, temples, and cities have been beacons, designed to attract attention from beyond our world? And as we look to the future, the search for answers continues. Will we finally uncover the truth behind the lost city of Tikal, the pyramids of China, and the ancient monuments that have long been hidden from the world? The answers lie beneath our feet, in the ruins, the tombs, the pyramids, waiting to reveal themselves. And perhaps, just perhaps, one day, we will look up into the stars and understand that we were never truly alone. Until that day comes, these ancient secrets will remain buried, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to ask the questions that others are afraid to. As we venture deeper into the mysteries of the ancient world, there is one question that continues to haunt both historians and archaeologists alike. What happened to Atlantis? The legend of Atlantis is one of the most captivating stories of all time. First told by the philosopher Plato over 2,000 years ago, it speaks of a highly advanced civilization that vanished beneath the sea in a single day and night of catastrophic destruction. But what if Atlantis was not a myth at all? Could it have been a real civilization, one that mastered technology and knowledge far beyond anything we could ever imagine? Many scholars believe that Atlantis could have been located in the Mediterranean, somewhere near the Greek islands, while others suggest that it may lie beneath the Atlantic Ocean. In fact, underwater explorations off the coast of the Azores and in the Caribbean have uncovered strange, man-made structures resembling roads, pyramids, and even temples, eerily reminiscent of the descriptions Plato provided. But there's another theory, one that links Atlantis not just to Earth's past, but to a far more cosmic origin. What if the Atlanteans were not from our world at all? Could they have been visitors, extraterrestrial beings, who arrived on Earth, bringing with them advanced knowledge of the stars, architecture, and technology? According to ancient texts, the Atlanteans were said to possess immense wisdom, and their machines could manipulate the environment itself. Their cities were described as being powered by energy sources that seemed to defy the laws of physics, resembling technology we might associate with alien civilizations. Could these machines have been a form of alien technology, or perhaps an early attempt by the Atlanteans to create a connection with beings from another world? Some even believe that the destruction of Atlantis was not a natural disaster but a deliberate act, perhaps triggered by a powerful force beyond their control. Was the sudden destruction of Atlantis caused by an interdimensional portal gone wrong? Or did it result from an alien interference, a cosmic warning to prevent further misuse of their advanced technologies? The truth may never be fully uncovered, but as we search for Atlantis, we are left with more questions than answers. As we step away from the sunken city of Atlantis, we turn our attention to another ancient mystery that has fascinated the world for centuries: the Great Sphinx of Giza. The Sphinx has stood the test of time for over 4,000 years. Yet its true origins remain an enigma. Carved from a single piece of limestone, this monumental statue represents the face of a king, but whose face is it really? Most believe that the Sphinx represents the face of Pharaoh Khafra, one of the rulers of ancient Egypt, but there are some who argue that this interpretation might be incorrect. Could the Sphinx be an ancient monument, built by a civilization predating the Egyptians? One that was possibly influenced by extraterrestrial visitors? Some researchers have proposed that the Sphinx may have been created as far back as 10,000 BC, thousands of years before the rise of Egypt's first dynasties. This theory suggests that the Sphinx could be part of an ancient civilization that interacted with beings from other worlds, a civilization whose knowledge of astronomy and engineering surpassed anything that the Egyptians could have known. Even more intriguing is the mysterious chamber said to exist beneath the Sphinx. According to some ancient accounts, the Hall of Records, a repository of all ancient wisdom, lies hidden beneath its paws. Could this be the final key to unlocking the secrets of both Atlantis and the extraterrestrial connections that have long been rumored? As we move forward in our quest for truth, we are reminded of one powerful reality: these mysteries, these ancient codes, were purposefully hidden from us. They have been kept safe beneath the sands of time, buried under layers of secrecy and waiting for the moment when humanity is ready to face the truth. The truth, it seems, is not just about what is written in ancient texts or engraved in stone, but what is felt within the heart, and as we look to the skies and wonder about our place in the universe. Perhaps the greatest discovery lies not in the ruins we uncover but in the understanding of who we truly are and where we have come from. Until that day arrives, the secrets of the ancients will continue to haunt us, pushing us to question the past and wonder about the future. The mysteries of the Sphinx, the city of Atlantis, and the secrets of extraterrestrial influence are far from over. They are waiting for us to unlock them, and perhaps to understand that we were never truly alone. From the sands of Egypt to the myths of Atlantis, we now shift our gaze eastward, to the mist-shrouded mountains of China. where another forgotten monument may hold the key to an ancient cosmic connection, the White Pyramid of Xi'an. This enigmatic structure is said to dwarf even the Great Pyramid of Giza. Known to locals for centuries but kept hidden from the world, the White Pyramid is described as a massive, flat-topped structure, over 300 meters tall, shrouded in secrecy and thick vegetation. In 1945, an American pilot flying over China reported seeing an enormous, gleaming white pyramid unlike anything he had ever encountered. His account was met with skepticism, and shortly afterward, silence. The Chinese government has since restricted access to the region, fueling speculation. Why would such a structure be hidden? And more importantly, who built it? Unlike the Egyptian pyramids, which align with the constellation Orion, the White Pyramid of China appears to be part of a larger complex of pyramids and tombs in Xi'an. Aligned with unusual celestial coordinates, some believe not to stars we know, but to stars that no longer exist. Could this be evidence of stellar knowledge far beyond the capabilities of early Chinese dynasties? Ancient texts speak of sky emperors, divine beings who descended in fiery dragons to teach mankind the arts of agriculture, astronomy, and architecture. Could these have been extraterrestrial visitors, guiding humanity in its infancy? And if so, did they leave behind more than just structures? Some researchers suggest that the White Pyramid may serve as a beacon, a cosmic marker, or perhaps even a tomb of the stars. Hidden beneath its base may lie technological relics lost to time, or evidence of a non-human presence. Why has it remained hidden? What truths are buried beneath layers of denial, military cover-ups, and forgotten legends? From the east, we now travel to a place even more remote, a windswept plain in the highlands of South America. Here lies one of the most perplexing archaeological enigmas on the planet, Puma Punku. Situated near Tiwanaku, Puma Punku is not just a ruin, it's a riddle. These massive stones, some weighing hundreds of tons, have been precisely cut with such accuracy that not even a razor blade can fit between the joins. What's even more incredible is that these stones appear to have been machined, with drill holes, smooth edges, and 90-degree angles, a feat that would be difficult even with today's industrial technology. So how did a civilization with no metal tools, no wheel, and no known written language manage such an engineering marvel? Some believe that Puma Punku was built with the help of advanced technology, not of this earth. Ancient Andean myths speak of gods who came from the stars, descending in flying vessels and gifting wisdom to early humans. Could Puma Punku be the landing platform for these star beings? Or perhaps a portal site, built to honor their return? Like the pyramids of Egypt, the Sphinx, Atlantis, and the mysterious structures in China, Puma Punku challenges everything we thought we knew about human history. Each site is a whisper from the past, beckoning us to look beyond the textbooks, to lift the veil on our forgotten origins, and perhaps, to rediscover the celestial ancestry that still echoes in stone. In the dry, windswept plains of southern Peru, a puzzle stretches across the desert floor, etched into the earth thousands of years ago. These are the Nazca lines. Discovered from the sky in the 20th century, the Nazca lines cover over 500 square kilometers and include hundreds of individual drawings. Some stretch as long as 370 meters, the size of a skyscraper laid flat. But here's the mystery. These lines can only be fully appreciated from the air. How could a pre-Inca civilization, without planes, satellites, or even hot air balloons, designed perfectly proportioned art only visible from the sky? Were they meant for the gods watching from above? Or something else? Some researchers suggest these lines could be runways, not for earthly craft, but for flying machines of unknown origin. Erich von Däniken famously proposed that the Nazca were guided by extraterrestrial visitors, or were trying to signal them. Mainstream archaeologists argue the lines had religious significance, used in ceremonial processions or astronomical alignments. But even they admit, the exact purpose remains unknown. So we are left with questions. Did an ancient culture possess aerial knowledge before flight was even imagined? Were they replicating what they had once seen in the skies? Whatever the answer, the Nazca lines continue to defy our expectations of the ancient world. Their size, complexity, and mystery pull our thoughts skyward, and remind us that perhaps once, the heavens were far more connected to Earth than we ever dared believe. Before the pyramids of Egypt, before Stonehenge, and long before the temples of Mesopotamia, there was a place buried beneath a hill in southeastern Turkey. Göbekli Tepe emerged from the dust, rewriting the story of civilization. Constructed over 11,000 years ago, Göbekli Tepe predates agriculture, writing, and the wheel. Its towering T-shaped pillars, some weighing over 20 tons, are carved with images of animals, foxes, scorpions, lions, and humanoid forms with folded arms. No one expected this until its discovery in the 1990s. Human history told us that complex structures like these required cities, farming, and social organization. But Göbekli Tepe shattered that timeline. If hunter-gatherers built this monument, it means religion, or perhaps something more, came before civilization. Not after. It flips our narrative. The temple came before the city. But it gets stranger. The site wasn't just abandoned. It was deliberately buried. Why would ancient people hide such a sacred place? Some theorists believe they were protecting it from a coming cataclysm, a cosmic cycle, or perhaps from something they no longer understood. Others suggest Göbekli Tepe as a message across time, a memory of the world before the Great Floods, before the Younger Dryas' extinction. And then there's the sky. Some of the carvings on its pillars appear to map celestial alignments, particularly the constellation Sagittarius, and even references to cometary impacts. Was this an ancient observatory? A memorial to the stars? Or a warning? The builders of Göbekli Tepe left no written records, no language, no names, only stone. But in that silence, they whispered something profound, that before history, there were those who remembered the sky. And perhaps, who came from it. Across the sands of ancient Egypt, beyond the grandeur of pyramids and sphinxes, lies a riddle inscribed not in stone, but in stars. The Dendera zodiac, carved into the ceiling of the Hathor temple in Dendera, is unlike anything else from ancient Egypt. It doesn't just depict constellations, it may encode a cosmic clock, a cataclysmic calendar, or perhaps the blueprint of an older, forgotten knowledge. This stone circle shows all 12 zodiac signs, but in configurations that don't match typical Babylonian or Greek astrology. The central figure, a lion walking backward beneath a crabbing cancer, a ram chasing a fish, suggests an astronomical map frozen in a time long before Egypt's dynasties. Some scholars argue the zodiac encodes processional knowledge, a deep understanding of the 26.000-year wobble of the Earth's axis. But how could an ancient civilization, without telescopes, know about axial precession? It gets even more mysterious. The Temple of Dendera aligns not with the cardinal points, like most Egyptian structures, but seems to follow a more complex, perhaps stellar orientation, potentially connected to Sirius or Orion's belt. Could it be that the ancient Egyptians were not just building monuments to their gods, but calibrating their temples as machines of time? Some alternative theorists believe the Dendera zodiac was not Egyptian at all, but inherited, handed down from a far older civilization, perhaps from the survivors of a lost cataclysm, a civilization so ancient, its ruins are not buildings, but symbols hidden in time. And this theory leads us to a recurring symbol, one that appears not just in Egypt, but in Sumer, in India, and even in Mesoamerica. The tree of life, the axis mundi, the celestial ladder. Across cultures and continents, an ancient symbol rises from the ground, reaching skyward, linking the earth to the heavens. It is the world tree, known by many names, Yggdrasil to the Norse, Kalpavriksha in Hindu texts, the tree of life in the Kabbalah, and the axis mundi in shamanic traditions. This symbol appears everywhere. And it may be more than myth. In Sumer, the tree of life stood beside the Anunnaki, beings said to descend from the stars. In Egypt, the goddess Nut was the sky herself, arched over the earth, her body dotted with stars, forming a celestial canopy, under which a sacred tree grew in the underworld. What if this tree wasn't just a symbol of life, but a map of the cosmic structure as the ancients saw it? Its roots in the underworld, its trunk in the world of mortals, its branches stretching toward the stars. A vertical axis that aligns with what modern astronomers call the ecliptic pole, the central axis of Earth's rotation, pointing toward the precessional North Star. From the Mayans to the Druids, from the Dogon tribe of Mali to the Hopi of North America, each held stories of a cosmic pillar, a bridge between worlds, often guarded by serpents or dragons. And this same symbol appears, encoded, in temple architecture, in mandalas, even in DNA spirals and ancient texts. Could it be that the tree of life wasn't just a religious icon? Could it be the ancients were describing a multidimensional system, one that connected the stars to Earth, and maybe to us? And if so, who taught them this? For thousands of years, humanity looked up at the stars, not with confusion, but with familiarity. They weren't just dots in the sky. They were guides, gods, and in some cases, blueprints. The three stars of Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, have long captivated skywatchers. But what if they were more than beautiful stars? In Egypt, the pyramids at Giza mirror Orion's belt with shocking precision, not just in layout, but in orientation and spacing. But Giza isn't alone. Across the Atlantic, in the Valley of Mexico, the ancient city of Teotihuacan, built by a mysterious pre-Aztec civilization, features pyramidal structures aligned in a pattern echoing Orion. Even the central Avenue of the Dead points toward the Pleiades, another prominent star cluster in mythology. In Cambodia, Angkor Wat, one of the largest religious monuments on Earth, was constructed to mirror the stars of Draco, the dragon constellation. In the Pacific, the Moai statues of Easter Island are believed to align with stellar risings, particularly during equinoxes. What's happening here? Why do ancient structures across the globe mimic the same constellations, often with impossible precision? This global pattern raises a haunting possibility. Were these civilizations guided by a shared celestial knowledge? Were the heavens not just a calendar, but a code? Long before modern astronomy, ancient civilizations were already aware that the heavens were not fixed. The earth wobbled, slowly, almost imperceptibly, like a spinning top. This motion, known today as the precession of the equinoxes, takes roughly 25.920 years to complete a full cycle. This massive cycle was known to the ancient Hindus as the Yuga, to the Greeks as the Great Year, and possibly to the Sumerians and Egyptians as a sacred cosmic countdown. Over this vast cycle, the constellation that rises at the spring equinox gradually shifts, moving backwards through the zodiac. This means that we're not just in the age of Pisces or age of Aquarius for fun, it's a literal astronomical era. Now here's the mind-bending part. Every 2.160 years, we enter a new zodiac sign. 12 signs, 12 ages, 12 segments of a cosmic clock. And at certain points in that cycle, usually at the transition of ages, ancient texts and myths consistently warn of great upheavals. Floods, fire, famine, celestial visitors, the fall of empires, from the destruction of Atlantis, to the biblical Great Flood, to the Hindu tales of cosmic dissolution. These transitions are marked with reset events. Could it be that the zodiac wasn't just mythology, but a warning system? A way for ancient astronomers to encode messages about planetary cataclysms, solar cycles, and possibly encounters? Did these cosmic transitions bring with them not only disaster, but also beings of light, called devas, Netaru, Anunnaki, watchers, who shaped civilization? They were described as beings not entirely of this earth. Glowing, radiant, terrifying and divine, the Anunnaki of Sumer, the Netaru of Egypt, the Devas of India, the Watchers of Enoch, civilizations oceans apart all told similar stories, of powerful shining ones who descended from the heavens to shape humanity. Bas-reliefs of winged beings in Mesopotamia, Egyptian gods like Ra and Thoth with luminous halos, Hindu art of devas with radiant energy flowing from them, astronomical alignments with temples. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers were angels who descended to earth and shared forbidden knowledge, astronomy, metallurgy, agriculture. In Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki came from a place called Nibiru and engineered human life as laborers. The Netaru in Egypt were said to come from the stars and rule for thousands of years in the Zep Tepi, the first time. Was this simply mythology? Or were ancient people trying to describe a real event, using the only language they had? Could it be that these luminous beings were extraterrestrials, mistaken for gods? And why do they appear, again and again, during celestial shifts in the Great Year? Are they guardians of the cycle? Or architects of it? Some researchers believe these beings return at the end of each age, to judge, to reset, to guide, or to harvest. Could the ancient tree of life, the DNA spiral, and the forbidden fruit all point to something deeper? A genetic intervention, hidden in myth? In almost every ancient culture, there is a story of a sacred garden, a forbidden fruit, and a divine punishment. The Bible has Eden, the Sumerians had Dilmun, the Hindus speak of Soma, the drink of the gods, and in each tale, humanity is warned, not to eat, not to know. But what exactly were we forbidden from? Michelangelo's Adam reaching toward the forbidden fruit. Sumerian gods offering a pine cone to humans. Hindu deities offering nectar to mortals. DNA double helix rotating beside ancient scrolls. Some researchers propose that the tree of knowledge and the tree of life were not just metaphors. They were symbols of genetic knowledge. The serpent, long vilified, may have been the bringer of DNA wisdom, or the one who activated human consciousness. Could the gods have intervened in our biology, altering our genetic code to create a more advanced species? In Mesopotamian tablets, the Anunnaki create humans by mixing their essence with that of primitive beings. In Genesis, God breathes life into Adam. In the Apocrypha, angels descend and create Nephilim, giants born from the union of divine and human blood. Were these tales literal history, masked in myth? Clay figurines of human hybrids, lab-like settings in ancient art, ziggurats, vats, or divine workshops. Zoom in of Anunnaki holding mysterious handbag items. And then there's the question no one dares ask. Did something go wrong? Were we too curious, too quick to evolve? Was the fall of man not a sin, but a breach of protocol? We ate the fruit, we accessed the code, and the gods turned away. Are the ziggurats, pyramids, and stone circles merely monuments? Or are they cosmic clocks, waiting to chime again? Across deserts and mountains, jungles and tundras, ancient structures stand, immovable, eternal, and eerily precise. But what if they are more than mere tombs or temples? What if these monuments are calendars, cosmic instruments designed to track celestial alignments, warning us, or preparing us, for something to return? Time lapse of stars moving over the Giza pyramids. The sun rising through the exact portal at Machu Picchu. Drone shot circling Stonehenge on the solstice. Many of them align with solstices, equinoxes, lunar cycles, and even the rising of certain constellations. Coincidence? Or coordination? On a planetary scale? In Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza is not just massive, it's astronomically accurate. Its sides align almost perfectly with the cardinal points, and its inner shafts point to Orion and Sirius, stars associated with Osiris and Isis, the gods of resurrection. 3D animation showing Orion's belt aligned with the pyramid layout. Ancient Egyptian star charts overlaid with NASA diagrams. In Central America, the Maya built temples that tracked Venus cycles to the day. They recorded time on a scale spanning millions of years, counting not just solar years but the precession of the equinoxes, a cycle of roughly 26.000 years. That number appears again and again, in Egypt, in India, in Babylon. Many ancient myths speak of an age when gods walked among men. They promised to return, not in centuries, but in cosmic ages. If we overlay their timelines with modern astronomy, something startling appears. We may be reaching the end of one of those cycles. Spiral clock turning into a galaxy. Star alignments converging on modern sky maps. Ancient carving of a being descending from a star. The Anunnaki, the Elohim, the Watchers, whatever name they were given, left markers in stone. They pointed us to the stars. And to time. And what happens when that time runs out? Will the gods return? Or were these clocks meant to warn us of something else? A cosmic reset? A planetary shift? A reckoning buried in the sky? We're almost at the edge of the map. Ancient flood myths carved in stone. Comets streaking across primitive cave paintings. As we close this chapter in the search for hidden truths, We are left with more questions than answers. The Codex Rohan, the White Pyramid, and the ancient celestial clocks, each beckon us to look deeper into the past. But one thing is certain. There are forces beyond our comprehension at work, shaping the story of humanity. Perhaps one day, these mysteries will be unlocked. Perhaps we will understand the ancient knowledge that was hidden, awaiting the right moment to be discovered. Until then, we can only wonder what lies beneath the surface, in the darkness of history, waiting for the right eyes to see. Slow-motion shots of ancient ruins being swallowed by the sands of time. Fade out with night sky full of stars, blinking and shifting. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the mysteries of the ancient world. Until next time, remember to keep questioning, keep exploring, and always, keep looking up.